Thank you. Good evening. As principal of Medomak Valley High School, I sincerely welcome each and every one of you to our commencement ceremony for the class of 2022. If I had $1 for every time somebody told me today, Linda, it's going to be all right, the rain is going to stop, and the sun is going to shine, I would be able to give another $600,000 worth of scholarships to this class. Thankfully, they were right, and here we are together this evening. Joining me here on stage for this celebration is our Superintendent of Schools, Steve Nolan, our Medomak Valley High School Assistant Principals, Tamara Philbrook and Matt Carlson, and our keynote speaker for this evening, Brooke Holland. For housekeeping details, restrooms are available in the science wing. If you enter the school at that end, the first entrance. This event is being live streamed, and you can find the link on the RSU 40 website. A graduation video of today's live stream ceremony will be viewable and available in a few weeks. A message will be sent on how to access that video when it is prepared. At this time, would the following students who have been officially sworn in to military service please come forward? Bailey Stewart, United States Air Force, and Charles Casas, United States Army National Guard. Please remain standing, or we should all stand, and remove our hats for the playing of the national anthem. President of the class of 2022, would Elizabeth Swan please come to the podium to deliver this evening's greeting and yearbook dedication.
Congratulations to the class of 2022. Welcome, friends, parents, and faculty. I know many of us wish a past presidential candidate, not naming any names, was making this speech, but unfortunately, you're stuck with me. Thank you to those who made this possible, especially Mr. Stewart, Mrs. Anna Marotti, Mrs. Pease, and all the MVHS staff who contributed to today. Thank you all also for coming to celebrate with us, the graduating class of 2022. In preparing to write a speech that contains the recognition that this class deserves, I tried to find one word to sum us up: but I found it to be an impossible task. There are 114 graduates here, and we are all individuals, so it would take at least 114 different words, not all of them being appropriate, to sum us up. However, my favorite thing about being a part of this class, since middle school, we have continuously proved that together we are more than the sum of our parts. The talent, creativity, and work ethic within our class is extraordinary. We are a class made up of unmatched drama performers, lobstermen, award-winning mathletes, MCST standouts, and championship athletes, 5 of whom are state champs. Our class is extremely involved within our school's teams, arts, and clubs. But what we participated in high school doesn't define who we are collectively. We have been able to come together at the end of this difficult time and make the best out of the cards we were dealt. We have spent the past 6 years, since middle school, laughing, learning, working, and grieving together. And now we have arrived at the last part of our journey together, graduation. With many of us going on to college, the workforce, and the military, we will all make a huge impact in the world. I have been honored to have been able to be a part of this ride with you all, and am excited to see the mark that the MVHS class of 2022 will make on the world. Thank you. And now I'll read the yearbook dedication. If you ask any one of our 4 boys why their mom chose teaching as a career, they'll tell you, every time I ask her that, she says, it certainly wasn't for the money. Her peers call her Kathy, and students call her Mrs. Swan, but her 8 grandchildren, 2 great-grandchildren, and much of her senior class know her as Graham. Whatever you call her, Kathy Swan has made an indelible impact on everyone graduating this year from Medomak Valley High School. As a tireless EdTech 3 at Medomak for the past 9 years, she agreed to take on the daunting role as 2022 class advisor a couple of years ago. She stepped up when our class needed someone the most, and at the young age of 76, took on a role that even people half her age shrink from. Kathy Swan began her teaching journey in 1962, attending Farmington State Teachers College, now known as University of Maine at Farmington. She earned her degree in home economics in 1966 and had an eye toward graduate school or entering the workforce as a teacher. Life had other plans, though, when, in that same year, she met, married, and started a family with her husband, Bill. The next 7 years saw the family grow from 2 to 6, when, in 1973, Kathy and Bill finally gave up on having a daughter after twin boys were born. Kathy spent the next several years as a homemaker and mom to 4 boys, while Bill was on the road as a long-haul truck driver, coming home just on weekends. While these circumstances may seem impossible to others, Kathy never lost sight of her ultimate passion, which has always been, in her words, to work with kids who struggle in school. This passion pushed Kathy to work toward her master's degree, even while working full-time, taking care of her children, a husband, and a home. Attending classes at night at University of Southern Maine meant driving from Warren to USM and back a couple of times each week. And after 5 long years, Kathy received her graduate degree. On graduation day, Bill smiled and said, "So, when are you going to go for your doctorate?" Kathy wasn't interested in another advanced degree, but she wasn't done yet either. She went on to earn her master's teacher certificate and became nationally board certified as a teacher, being the first in the MSAD 40 at the time. Through much of the time she spent earning her master's degree and many certifications, she taught school at Union Elementary, Union Junior High, Warren Community School, D.R. Gall School, Miller School, Medomak Middle School, and for the last 9 years has been at Medomak Valley High School. When asked what her inspiration has been for working so hard for so long at what is sometimes a thankless job, Kathy credits her paternal grandmother, Grace Wiley, who taught well into retirement. That inspiration has been to the great benefit of the thousands of kids whose lives Kathy has touched over the past 40-plus years. Kathy gave up a classroom in favor of retirement in 2006, and having never spent an idle day in her life, decided to give corporate America a try. 3 years later, she retired for a second time. Shortly thereafter, Kathy unretired for a second time and became what must be the most highly educated ed tech in the state. Kathy has decided to retire for a third time in June of this year, and everyone at MVHS will miss her. However, you will be able to find her volunteering for an after-school program at Warren Community School, tutoring kids who struggle in school. Stop in, say hello, she would love it. With all that said, it is our honor to dedicate the 2022 MVHS yearbook to the sweetest, most caring, humble, and selfless person many of us have ever met. Thank you, Graham.
Thank you, Kathy. We will indeed miss you in the halls of our school. Seniors, we would like to recognize two special groups in attendance here tonight. Would the parents and guardians of the class of 2022 please rise so that we can honor you? The support and effort of these individuals have helped you to achieve the milestones we are celebrating tonight. Thank you. We also recognize the Medomak Valley High School teaching staff who have challenged the class of 2022 to strive for their highest level of academic achievement and have supported your efforts for the past 4 years. Thank you. Last Monday evening, students, families, staff, and scholarship trustees gathered in the Ronald E. Dolph Auditorium for scholarship recognition. At that time, $620,802 were handed out to approximately 60 students at Medomak Valley High School. Our community is very fortunate to have such a healthy scholarship base to provide assistance to our students pursuing post-secondary education. And now, would Owen Weber please come to the stage?
That makes sense.
By virtue of attaining the second highest four-year grade point average for the Medomak Valley High School class of 2022, we are pleased to award the Salutatorian Medal to John Owen Edward Weber. From the state of Maine, we have this sentiment: be it known to all that we, the members of the Senate and House of Representatives, join in recognizing John Owen Edward Weber of Union, who has earned the distinction of being named Salutatorian of the 2022 graduating class of Medomak Valley High School. We extend our congratulations and best wishes, and be it ordered that this official expression of sentiment be sent forthwith on behalf of the 130th Legislature and the people of the state of Maine. Congratulations. I'm going to put this in here, and you can go through it.
Thanks. Love the support. Good evening, parents, faculty, and students. I would like to begin by expressing my utmost gratitude to Mrs. Pease, Mr. Stewart, and Ms. Enamorati for allowing this graduation to be planned in a way that brings us all together. The last commencement ceremony to take place, in which an entire graduating class received their diplomas together, was 3 years ago. This is a momentous occasion for that reason, and we should be very proud of the progress we have all made together, not only as a class, but as a global community. However, this message will not be about the resilience of our community, class, or world over the past 2 years. Rather, it will be about something which is relevant in many more contexts. In the past year, I have realized something about myself that I believe has been true throughout my life. And now that I have recognized this trait, I have been able to become much more successful in my academic, artistic, and social endeavors. It is well known that a majority of my high school career has been spent looking up to and seeking advice from my teachers and mentors, Mr. Stewart, Ms. Enamorati, Mr. Hinckley, and Mrs. Cordero being among them. In fact, I have spent so much of my time accumulating adults to look up to that I only have a time to name an infinitesimally small fraction of them. These mentors, and mentors in general, have the most positive effects on their mentees, even if the work they ask of us is difficult. In the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, our chief want in life is somebody who will make us do what we can. Had my mentors not pushed me to be the best, I would never be the person I am today. By Mr. Hinckley, I was intellectually pushed, tearing my hair out for hours at a time trying to figure out what the hell the unit circle was. Mr. Stewart had me practicing audition pieces 30 beats below tempo to make sure I developed proper practicing habits, and Ms. Enamorati helped me go over the countless drafts of the essays that helped me get into Yale. Despite all this, looking up to these adults in my life has only contributed to some of my success. What has been one of the greatest influences for me over the duration of my high school career, my senior year in particular, is the younger people in my life. They motivate me, push me to do better, and most of all, they look up to me. Their eyes watch me, asking me to do the right thing so that they may know how to behave as I do. And the watchfulness of the younger people in my life is what has made me the actor, musician, and student that I am today. In the past year alone, one student in particular has stood out to me. A freshman that, when I see him, I feel as though I am looking in a mirror to the past. Never before have I met someone who receives criticism or feedback as well as this student. In fact, he has been known to be called a sponge in the past because of how well he takes feedback. Watching him perform, study, or listen to feedback and incorporate it in whatever he is doing reminds me of who I wish to be as a musician, actor, and student. Some of you may have already figured out who this person is. Others may be curious still. After all of the effort he has put into all of his academic and extracurricular endeavors this year, as well as how much he has contributed to my own success, leaving him anonymous would be a crime. Some know him as my protege, others are his peers, friends, castmates, or acquaintances. But to me, he is Christopher Harris, one of my greatest inspirations and mentors. He provides me with so much inspiration, not only because of his talent, but because of his age. Because he is younger than I am pushed to serve as a good role model to him, and in order to do that, I must at least act as his equal. In doing so, I make sure to achieve at the high level I always have, and learn as much as possible so that I may teach him more. Some of you may believe that I'm using the term mentor too loosely. In response to this, I say that the definition of mentor is an experienced and trusted advisor. It goes without saying that Chris has experience, and I undoubtedly invest my trust in him. And, as a friend of mine, he and I generally advise each other and on all things related to music and theater that we are doing. So, I ask you, who are the mentors in each of your lives? Perhaps they are your older relatives, co-workers, or your older friends who have given you advice throughout your high school career. Tonight, please take the time to thank these mentors for the time they have spent helping you to succeed. Finally, I would be remiss if I were to leave out the other inspirations and figures in my life who have helped me get through my high school career. The various teachers mentioned in the beginning of this speech and my parents, close friends who have been mental supports for me in the past 4 years, Emily Mahoney, Grace White, and Ella Donahue. Older friends who have been mentors for me, Sean Seabree, Maddie White, and Aubrey Schaefer. And those who have allowed me to mentor them this year, Quinn Natali, Kelsey Payson, and Christopher Harris. You are all my heroes and my mentors, and I thank you. So please, as you all go on with your lives, work or military careers, or college educations, surround yourself with inspirations, mentors, and friends. Create support groups for yourself. Thank those who have helped you get to where you are, and spread all of the knowledge that you have to those who will take it. Do these things, and you will find your definition of success. Thank you.
Congratulations. Would Cameron Baines please come to the stage? By virtue of attaining the highest 4-year grade point average for the Medomak Valley High School class of 2022, we are pleased to award the valedictorian medal to Cameron Baines. And I have this sentiment to read to you. Be it known to all that we, the members of the Senate and House of Representatives, join in recognizing Cameron Elizabeth Baines of Friendship, who has earned the distinction of being named valedictorian of the 2022 graduating class of Medomak Valley High School. We extend our congratulations and best wishes, and be it ordered that this official expression of sentiment be sent forthwith on behalf of the 130th Legislature and the people of the state of Maine. Congratulations. This can stay here. And this is yours.
Good evening, parents, guardians, grandparents, teachers, staff, administrators, coaches, and other honored guests. Thank you all for being here and showing your support for the class of 2022 throughout our high school careers. Furthermore, congratulations to the class of 2022 for making it to graduation day. Now to my peers. Do you remember when we were younger and we were told we were a part of the class of 2022? At the end of my 6th grade year, I was given a folder as I was promoted to the 7th grade. And on that folder, written in Sharpie, was my name and the class of 2022. Class of 2022? Then those words felt like nothing. They felt meaningless. But here I am today, about to receive my high school diploma. I never thought as an 11-year-old that the year 2022 would come so quickly, and in the blink of an eye, I would be done with high school. But here we are. I never thought I would relax when hearing that your classmates also cried over their math homework the night before. And that it was a universal agreement that Mr. Hinckley planned to give us the most challenging assignment possible in hopes that we would cry. I never thought I would have a teacher who cared so much for his students to bring in his SCOBY jerky for his class to try. Which, by the way, is like a thick mat of what looks like skin that houses bacteria cultures and creates kombucha, if you wanted to know. I never thought I would have a teacher who adopted a turtle for their class and named her Mrs. Potato Head. And I never thought I could default to having mic issues during a Zoom meeting because I forgot the word for toilet in Spanish. That's the funny thing with life, though. It's unexpected. Yes, I know that's a bit of a cliche, but it's true. The most crucial part, though, is how we deal with the unexpected. When the time came to fill out college applications, I thought the process and acceptance would be smooth. I've been very involved in the community throughout my 4 years in high school through sports, student government, theater, other extracurriculars, and I've kept good grades. In all my time, I've held myself to the highest standard of perfection, and everyone around me started to hold me to that level as well. Soon this pressure began to build up, and I felt that if my plans didn't go the way I hoped, I would not only be disappointing myself, but everyone around me. Then came March, when college decisions came out. Slowly but surely, I kept opening emails to rejected, waitlisted, rejected, rejected, waitlisted, and so on, until I was only accepted to 2 out of the 11 schools I applied to, and those were my backup schools. I thought I had prepared enough so that the situation would never occur. For weeks after my college plans were derailed, I felt worthless and discouraged with life. I saw all my friends around me getting into their dream schools and being excited for the upcoming fall. As for me, though, I had no idea what I was going to do and wasn't excited about college at all. In fact, I even dreaded thinking about it. I thought I knew what would happen, and the complete opposite occurred. I cried, complained, was angry, ranted, laughed, and cried some more. Eventually, I took a step back from the situation and realized how I take for granted all the opportunities I have today, like being able to go to college and get an education. In my first few years of life, it was just my single mother living off welfare, looking for a place to call home, and me. I had 8 different addresses before the time I was in kindergarten. I don't remember most of this, but I hear stories from my mom about this time. She doesn't say it to me, but I can see in her eyes how difficult life used to be. And now, when I have big dreams of becoming a doctor and helping the world, I can see her smile beam with pride and satisfaction, knowing that all her sacrifices paid off. Looking back from where I started, I'm grateful to even be given this opportunity to go to college and further my education. So, I started to look at other possibilities and options. Slowly, I put one foot in front of the other and tried to see the bright side of the situation. Before I knew it, I was reaching out to others for advice and help and researching my next courses of action. Now, I can stand before you today and say that I'm confident in my future college plans, even though they didn't go as planned. And I'm excited for what lies ahead. But then again, life is unexpected, so we'll see what happens in the coming years. Amid dark times, it's hard to see that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's human nature to reject and be confused with changes or differences. But it is how we respond after those initial reactions that matters. We can curl up in bed and cry for a long time after a bad grade, a fight with a friend, or just a crappy day. Or we can be proactive. Seek friends or family for help and look for the bright side. Sometimes you just have to take a step back from the situation and see how far you've come to give you perspective. There is no way to predict the unexpected, but we can learn to work around it and continue to live in the moment rather than living in fear of the unknown. We have all overcome unique challenges to get us here today, many of which are unspoken, but we made it. We made it through 700 days of high school. Most days in sweatpants, others wearing masks, and some even through computer screens. Through Miss Pease's cringy jokes on Friday afternoon announcements, and the questionable water system, we made it. Through all the unexpected in our last 4 years, we made it. I look around me today and see some of the strongest people I know as peers and teachers. Friends who face setbacks at home continue to show up to school every day with a smile on their faces. Teachers who struggle with a hard day will find time to listen to a student who needs a guiding hand. It is these people who we can look up to and learn from. Before we know it, today will become a memory of the past, filled with forgotten faces and old friends. Soon, we may only interact with each other through the comments on Instagram posts, where we communicate by saying, "Miss your pretty face, catch up soon, question mark, heart emoji, heart emoji." But we give a sweet response, go about our day, and don't give comments like this another thought. So I challenge you to try as best as you can to stay in touch with one another. Visit each other and reminisce upon those long ago high school days. And be sure to remind others how much you care for them, because you never know when the unexpected may occur. Thank you.
Thank you both. Tonight's keynote speaker is well-respected, dedicated, and a positive role model in our school community. Graduating from High Point High School in Wantage, New Jersey, Brooke Holland earned her BS in art education with a concentration in graphic design from Plymouth University, Plymouth, New Hampshire. She went on to study a photography track at Salt Institute for Documentary Studies in Portland and earned her master's in art from the Art Institute of Boston at Lesley University. With her husband Colin and twins Margaret and Finley, Mrs. Holland makes her home in Camden, Maine, and in addition to teaching, enjoys hiking, running, and skiing. Mrs. Holland brings her talents to Medomak Valley with a primary goal to support students so that they know their value and understand others' similarities and differences through empathy. She urges her students to set high goals for themselves in life and encourages them to find an interest and put their passions, feelings, and identity into their work. We are fortunate to have Mrs. Holland here at Medomak Valley, and so I present her to you, our keynote speaker, Mrs. Brooke Holland.
Welcome students, family, friends, and faculty to this joyous day. I cannot convey enough how much of an honor it is for me to be chosen to give this speech. This moment will truly go down as one of my best memories in my teaching career. Seniors, congratulations on the arrival of your graduation. This generation came into school as freshmen, unaware of what was ahead of them, and you're leaving as educators to your community. Over the last 4 years, I saw how you made sure others felt included, and that speaks volumes as to the people that you are. I've seen so many of you show an open mind and empathy for other students' struggles. These skills are important in life as we work to find common ground within our community and world. You know what's been so special about this class? You've been our educators. Before COVID, several of you here, Emma Overlock, Nolan Galhagen, Shyla Waltz, I saw some of you earlier, Jewel Waite, Isaac Hind, James Rose, and Greg Sofaldo were in my advanced photography class, and were participating in a school-wide art installation called Why You Matter, to bring awareness to students and staff's importance in this world and within our community. What I witnessed was somewhat akin to 5 of your friends writing a recommendation for you about why you were so amazing and then reading it to you. Students and staff sat down for their portraits with a whiteboard, I guess I could have just said whiteboard, and dry erase markers, having to think about why they wanted to write, what they wanted to write. The students, not only the aforementioned, but anyone who wanted to participate, were building them up, telling them why they matter to them. You could see everyone who sat for the portraits being uplifted. The biggest takeaway for me from that experience was when everyone walked away knowing they were worthy of love. And I'm glad it was seen by our students and staff before school was physically shut down the very next day. Class of 2022, you had the unique experience of knowing what high school was like before COVID, during COVID, and living with the aftermath of COVID. This means you're coming out of the other side to reflect on what you learned during our shared untimely experience. And this class of 2022 is our generation's representation to our community, just as graduating seniors are all over the world to their communities. You've helped shape positive change in our school by breaking down stigmas of mental health and bringing into focus the importance of an individual's well-being so students can succeed in navigating their academics, aspiration, and the inevitable challenges that life throws at all teenagers. I've witnessed students being proactive in mental health by alerting a trusted adult when they or a friend needed help, being there for others, and advocating for change through various student groups, guidance, and administration. Because of your feedback, we made some changes here as many of you did in your student-led groups. We started a Sources of Strength group that focuses on our emotional well-being and knowing where we can find support within our lives and how to help others who are struggling. Our school invited our Kiev intern, Jamie Marquis, to incorporate social and emotional learning into classrooms, building stronger interpersonal relationships. And many school groups like PAWS and Student Council worked hard to build community back up in a creative way during COVID. These responses would not have happened if we hadn't heard from you. And while we know that we have more work to do, you have planted the seed, and we as a school community are growing because of you. I want to talk about a specific way that you, class of 2022, have taught our community. I've been fortunate enough to have a relationship with many of you here as your art teacher or co-advisor for PAWS and Sources of Strength. I've seen you be the class that taught each other, your families, and our faculty. As a class, you endured COVID education and a loss of a dear classmate. Personally, many of you have had your own struggles, but you persevered. You've taught us what it means to successfully adapt to difficult or challenging life experiences. In other words, you've taught yourself, friends, and family how to be resilient. You taught us that every time we weather a storm, that we are building stronger roots to keep upright. We, in fact, all can be resilient. It just takes practice. So many of you showed these skills, but like any great athlete, artist, or academic, we need to exercise them. Now so many of you are much stronger and more prepared for the unexpected curveballs life will inevitably throw at you because you have practiced. Seniors, may you explore your lives, remembering the work you have done individually and collectively. Know that you've cultivated positive change and broken down stigmas here at Medomak, in your communities and in your homes. You have given the gift of resilience and awareness to the importance of mental health for future generations. You remind us to savor the small moments of joy, like this one, and work through the difficulties in life, not alone, but with the help of others. This gift you gave us is greater than any tangible object. To be specific in the difference you made, I want to share a quote by one of your fellow graduates who came to Medomak as a senior this year, Avery Martin. First time meeting you, Avery, hi. But what you said resonated with me. This is what Avery said. The 3 years I spent at my last school almost ruined me, and it's amazing to see how a safe environment and welcoming, friendly people affected me. As an outsider, I'd say Medomak Valley High School is one of the most inclusive and welcoming schools ever. Seniors, I personally thank you all for welcoming Avery into our community and making her feel safe and wanted. It is my hope that we all do that for each other in life. I also want to thank you for the fundamental change you have added to the legacy at Medomak, so that future students not unlike you can have the resources, environment, and culture to grow, not only academically, but perhaps more importantly, emotionally. I promise you that I'll keep watering the seed that you have planted and providing it with sunlight, so it may continue to grow for future generations. Thank you all for your lessons.
Thank you, Mrs. Holland. At this time, would the family of Paris Rose Pierpont and special friends Alyssa Creamer, Eliza Spear, and Shiloh Waltz please come to the stage? Bobby, and to Edwin and all of your family and friends of your daughter, our hearts are with you. Paris will always be with us as a part of the senior class of 2022. And therefore, it is our honor to present to you this diploma for Paris Rose Pierpont in recognition of her membership forever in the class of 2022, and to affirm all that she brought to Medomak Valley High School with her energy and her passion. Superintendent Nolan, would you please join me at the podium?
Seniors, I'm proud of you, and I wish you the very best. Remember, if you work hard and stay focused, you can accomplish anything. Mrs. Pease, has each of the students before us completed the requirements for graduation as delineated in the RSU 40 policies and the laws of the state of Maine?
Yes, Mr. Nolan, the students before you have met all their graduation requirements to receive a Medomak Valley High School diploma.
Then by the authority vested in me by the RSU 40 Board of Directors and the Department of Education, as Superintendent of Schools, I ask you to confer upon these graduates their diplomas representing the completion of their formal school education.
Here we go.
Which side are you on?
Stay right there for a minute. We gotta get organized. Here we go. Daniel Lewis Vanna. Jethro Dunham Pease. Tyler Matthew McKay. Timothy Joe Perkins II. Cole Stanley Wallace. Kelsey Ray Brown. Dylan Elizabeth Swindler. Quinn Patricia Smith. Isabel Jean Johnson. Gage Robert Lay Judkins. Lucy Rose Marie Jameson. Colin Colin Xavier Matson. Avery Ryan Croto Martin. Connor Kirk Flaherty. Aubriana Serenity Nicole Campbell Nash.
Can I get a hug from you first? Appreciate all the help. Thank you.
Dominic Dalton Skillings.
Let's go! Woo!
Greta Lilith Bednick. Tyler Michael Wood. Charles Andrew Casas. Gavin Peter Anderson. Emma Nicole Overlock. Natalie Michelle Dean. Julia Barton Kunish. Brooke Marie Powell. Autumn Rose Kirkpatrick. Wyatt Everett Ames Ulmer. Yeah, there you go. Garrett Dean Hutchins. Grace Marie White. James Philip Rose. Connor Keith Roy Daigle. Stephen Richard Luce. Logan Nicholas Willis. Stay right there. Hannah Lynn Woodcock. Anna Rose Wagner. Taylor Burton Carter. Kian Poe O'Kella Furman. Dominic Salvatore Athern. Addison Ezra Meller. Elizabeth Grace Swan. Iris Sandra Casas. Dominique Edward William Laflamme. Christopher Nathan Aston. Tristan Cole Francis. Vanessa Haley Luce. Sophia Jean Matheson. There you go. Zim Avis Cunningham. Zanaya Rose Puhalski. Samuel Todd Grierson. Colby Michael Brown. Cameron Elizabeth Baines. Evan William Stinson. Jordan Anthony Luce Warren. Morgan Ray Flanders. Ruth Ann Havener. Molly Althea Jennings. Cassie Lynn Soul. Eliza Carmen Spear. Shyla Paige Waltz. Gregory Jason Cifaldo. Samantha Ann Knight. Taylor Alexis Jade Cox. Ashton Fletcher Wilson. Nolan Wallace Gahagan. Come right over here. Dylan Jacob Thornton. Wyatt Lucas Scott Searle. Catherine Emily Johnson. Elizabeth Ann Marie Bowman. Alicia Joyce Nagel. Bailey Martha Madison Stewart. Chloe Jean Marie Acorn. Logan Henderson Grubb. Samuel Thomas Sampson. Matthew Raymond Robbins. Eric Lewis Pendleton. Ryan Richard Jarvis. Midiku Jackson Yates. Jada Mariah Hall. Ivy Eliza Ladd. Autumn Cheyenne Harvey. Victoria Abigail Shacklet. Levi Anthony Ward. Just a second. I want to make sure you get your time in this sign. Shaylee Ann Johnson. Alyssa Ann Creamer. Autumn Lee Ripley. Kyler Morrow Potter. Noah Reynolds Ludwig. Jason Wayne Lewis Grass. Emma Rose Colson. Katie Morgan Powers. Jewel Madison Waite. John Owen Edward Weber. Come closer so you're on. There you go. Emily Nicole Mahoney. Austin Holbrook Stone. Zachary Mark Hall. Caleb Dylan Dodge. Alacius Lacey Regan Peavy. Abigail Sharon Elizabeth Morin. Emily Paige Bryant. Brianna Marie Grace Filer. Tyler J. Leonard. Patrick Seaton McKenney. Jacob Allen Craig. Isaac Richard Hind. Congratulations. Jacob Timothy Bickmore. Seniors, as a sign of your graduation, you may now move your tassels from the right to the left. Let's go. And ladies and gentlemen, and all in attendance, I present to you the 2022 graduates of Medomak Valley High School. So as we reorganize ourselves, we're asking that audience members remain in your places and leave the center aisle clear as the staff walks out and the students march out together as their final act as graduates of Medomak Valley High School, class of 2022, together. Thank you.
But you do it. Everyone does it.
Absolutely. 100%.
I don't know what it is, but it just like gives you better.
Kind of, yeah.
It's a good decision maker. That's right.
That's the technology trailer. I think if you look at those, a couple computers and two guys sitting on TV. Computers. I don't know, there's two random guys.
Thank you.